Well, for sure. And I gave him a hug because it's something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And not just that, I'm going to remember the entire day. I'm going to remember it from start to finish, and more specifically the finish. It couldn't have been scripted any better. The walk that we've been walking, the concepts that we've laid on these guys, they went out there and fought and earned every part of that victory. It couldn't have gone any better.
Torey, all 162 games are created equal in the standings. Doesn't it seem like the first one counts more?
Well, the first one is always special because because it's opening day. You have a crowd of people that are vibrating and excited, and when you can respond to them and give them something back, it adds to the moment. But inside the walls of that clubhouse is something that that I'm most proud of, because these guys fought on opening day, and they're setting the tone the way we asked them to, and that's what's really, really impressive. We talked about having to earn things here. We know what we have to do. Today is a really good stepping stone. It's brick one in the foundation of what we're talking about.
Some managers don't like their guys to get too high or too low, but I think you seem to enjoy the fact they're celebrating right now.
I love that type of stuff. They deserve it. You know, it was a big release emotionally for all of us. We fought back all day long against a really good pitcher and a really good team. So they deserve that moment. I want them to feel it, touch it, celebrate, have a good off day tomorrow, digest it, and be ready on Tuesday, because we got to keep this thing moving in the right direction.
In the ninth inning, the closer they spent a lot of money for has got the first two outs.
Right.
What can you say about what happened after that?
Well, we felt strongly about how we could possibly build an inning as conversations went throughout the course of the game. We felt like Jeff Mathis was a good matchup against Melanson. There's some reverse splits that are in play here. Jeff had a good game, and he responded with exactly what we expected. And we wanted to set it up for the next best option in that situation was Daniel Descalso, and he responded. So it was just one thing after another. These guys went out and performed under the circumstances of a lot of pressure, and that's what championship teams do. Actually, I want to take that back. That's what teams do when they're trying to establish a culture.
How does Zach look for you today?
Zach, I thought Zach grinded through his outing. I think he was in a little bit of a fist fight. But when you look up and he's given up only a couple of runs over 5 innings, I consider that a really positive outing. He was up at 92 or 93 pitches, and I made the decision to remove him from the game. And the encouraging part about that was he felt like he had more in the tank. But to me, the risk wasn't worth the reward. He did what he could. He kept us in the game, and it was time to hand it off to his teammates, and they responded.
Sorry, Chris said that you had to talk with them before the game without getting into the injury season. Could you generally talk about the message that you gave the club before it went out today?
I mean, it was very personal. It was something that I felt like it would help the team connect, unite, and be ready to go out and perform as one. And that's really the theme all along with spring training, that we're going to go out as a family and compete.
So what happened afterwards? They were in a pile, and Chris said that he missed you getting the beer shower. And how did you react when you saw the winning run come in?
When the winning run came in, I was not actually watching it cross home plate. I was embracing the coaching staff. So I don't know exactly what happened, but I spent a little bit of time with the coaching staff that's working really hard behind the scenes and sacrificing a lot to go out and teach these guys. And it was a moment that I had with them to thank them for all their hard work. But it was a situation for me where I've been saying over the past couple of days, I want things to go right, so right, for one reason, and that's for all the hard work that's been put in by these guys. And that was our reward today. That was really special.
Both had struggles, and your bench came up big. Not only the big hit by Descalso, but the big hit by Nick Ahmed that kind of got you going.
Well, you know, we were, I think we got no hit for 5 innings, right? I don't know what it was, right? Perfect game for 5 innings. Baumgartner deserves all the credit. I mean, we got a good group of hitters, and he goes out there and shuts us down. But true to what these guys are all about, they grinded through their at-bats. Jeff Mathis has a big double. Nick Ahmed has a big base hit in a pinch hit situation. And that seemed to get us moving. And the next ball is a 2-run home run that ties the game. So in different ways, we responded. The bullpen stepped up when it needed to in certain moments. And the offense did what they had to score runs and help us win the game. So it was a team effort. You know, I know that there was a couple hiccups coming out of the bullpen, but what a team does is back one another and pick each other up. And I think the offense was there for those moments.
Torey, can you talk about the emotions of today, your first ever win as a manager, your first ever walk-off for the D-backs to open day, your family's here, your father was no longer with you, watching you
Yeah.
off the ball as you mentioned.
Yeah. It was emotional, not going to lie. You know, I miss my dad, but my family's here. And they loved me and supported me today and yesterday in a very intimate way. And I felt everybody's presence. And it couldn't have been scripted any better for me to have the ups and downs of the moment finish on such an incredibly high note. I don't know if I'm going to come down for the rest of the day. And I know that my wife has put together a big party for the group, and I'm going to walk in there and embrace everybody and let the celebration begin.
What's it mean to have A.J. Pollock on this team?
A.J. Pollock, you know, it's hard to separate everybody because they all mean so much to one another, and especially me. But if you're asking about A.J. Pollock, he is an elite defender. He's an impact offensive player. He's a catalyst. He can hit a home run. Got us back in the game today. There's just so much value to having him on the field to this ball club that we don't want to set ourselves back by running him into the ground. So we're gonna guard him, protect him, and make sure that he's playing well into September.
Rodney struggled in that inning, but with the bases loaded and less than 2 outs to get Posey to pop out and to play with Crawford.
Yeah.
How big was that for him to come through the experience level that he has to get you out of that jam without
Right.
only just giving up the 1 run?
Well, when you're when you're talking about the bases loaded and one of the best offensive players at the plate, and you come out of it giving up no runs, you gotta feel real good about it. So I know that he walked off the mound despite having some rough moments, feeling really good about the ending. He got 2 big outs, kept us within striking distance, and you know, the rest of the team took over and picked him up.
You talk about Zach being in a bit of a fist fight. What did you see? What did you mean about that?
You know, it wasn't a perfect outing early. I think he he was struggling with the command of a couple of his pitches, but when he had to, he made pitches and got out of the moment. You know, I know he made a couple of mistakes and one to Baumgartner. And we know that he's a very good hitter. We were aware of that, but I know Zach felt like it was a mistake. But you know, it was a couple of moments a couple of innings where he was over 20 pitches. It didn't go smoothly, but he got big outs when he needed to, and he stood up to the challenge every moment he could.
You mentioned a real emotional win today.
Yeah.
Had allergies or a few tears of joy were shed today?
Yeah, you know, somebody poured something in my eye, so I don't know what it was. It wasn't Gatorade, that's for sure. So it's still burning. I'm really talk about grinding it out right now. I'm grinding out this interview. I'm not doing so good, you guys. But somebody poured something in this eye, and it's not responding well. But no, you know what? I've been emotional through the course of the day because of my personal circumstance and my family and my father. I've been emotional through the course of the day because of how much I care and love those guys in that clubhouse. And then it all kind of came out in one moment in the beer shower. You know, it was a good moment for all of us to build upon.